Dear Diary, mood, I'm freaking losing my mind. Film school diary, my 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 film school diary. Ah! Hey everybody, so in my film school diary today, we are going to be discussing one of the most exciting days of my career in film school. So, let me give a little bit of a backstory about my school itself. So, my program I was in offered us this very cool opportunity to be able to film on a backlot, like a real backlot from a real studio. I will not be saying what the school's name is here or what the studio was, because they are pretty big names. I'm not going to bring that up. I do not feel that there's a need to say this, but I did get to film some really cool projects on some backlots. So, our first week was kind of got like over. We had already done our first little project. It was real cute, real sweet. We had some fun, and then we were about to start working on our second project when our teachers were like, "Okay, we had Terry and Darian show up, and they were like, okay, guys, we have to get ready for our first production workshop." And we're like, "What's that?" And they're like, "We're going to be shooting on the backlots." And we're like, "Oh, this is the reason we're going to the school. This is super exciting. We're super stoked about this. This is great." And so they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then they're like, "We're not sure exactly what we're going to be doing, but we will be shooting a little short film on film. And for the first week, two of you will be shooting on this backlot, and then next week, another two of you will shoot in a different backlot." They're like, "Okay, cool, whatever, whatever." And all of us are hemming and hawing. The Razor Blades were all like, July's like, "I could go if you guys want me to." Cece's like, "I don't really want to go yet." Red's kind of on the fence. I'm like, "I don't know if I want to go yet. I don't know if I don't want to go. I'm nervous." So that's neither here nor there. And then somebody walks in and they go, "We just found out what backlots we have this week." And Terry's like, "Okay, well, do tell. What backlots do we have?" Again, I'm not going to say what set we were on, but there's a very special, close, and dear to my heart satire, I would say. It's a comedy drama that was on in a special time of my life. It was my favorite show that involves some of my favorite characters that really formed who I am. And they told us, "You'll be shooting on the set of Jay's favorite show." Those weren't their exact words, obviously. But I squealed like a pig. I was like, "Ah!" I can't go that high pitched anymore. I lost my mind. We then had to go to our little break. We took our little 15-minute break, and the Razor Blades were outside. We're like discussing what we're going to do. And I'm like, "Guys," I'm shaking. I'm like, guys, I have to film there. It is my favorite show of all time, and I've dreamt of filming there my whole life. Please. I'm crying. Please let me shoot here. Please. Literally, all three of them are like, "That's fine. We don't really want to go first anyway, so go for it." And I'm like, "You guys, I'll never forget this." They did not care. They're like, "We really don't care. You can go there if you want. It's fine." So we set up that I was going to film first, and then July was going to film for the second half of the day. So that's super exciting. So I was losing my mind. This Saturday, I'm going to be filming on my favorite set in the whole world. I'm so ready. So that was great. So, anyway, we go back into class, and so our teacher, Darian's like, "Okay, well, you guys need more work with the cameras, because these are going to be the film, we're going to be doing like a film workshop too, so you guys need to get more time in depth with the cameras." Cool, very fun. So, what we need to do is we're going to go to the park, and we're going to film some different camera tests. We're going to take some time to actually look over the footage together. That way you can get more adjusted to the cameras. So that's cool. So we all piled up in a van, a school sanctioned van, of course, not just a random van. The bus driver was there, the one that I actually hit on in the first class. He was there. He ignored me. Whatever, it's fine. Anyway, so we're going over the park. We're split up in our little groups, not our normal crews. I want to say I think it was me, Red, and I want to say a couple other people. They were there, and so we were all filming our little scenes. I actually have real footage of this, so I'm kind of excited to show you guys. This is me at the park on my camera test. Looking real cute, looking real sweet. So like I still have this disc. Again, this is one of the ones of, "Does anybody want this disc?" And I said, "I'll take it. My family would love to see what I do on film." So I grabbed the DVD and I ran with it. So we shot there. I ran into Kitty, got to say hi to her, got to say hi to Darling, got to see all the people from my first day. We hung out a little bit, had a little lunch together. It was real fun. We were kind of discussing like, "Oh, are you guys excited? Are you guys excited about like shooting on the backlots at like my favorite set?" And they're like, "I guess. I've never watched that show, nor do I care to. It's not real cinema." And I was like, "It's the best thing ever. I love it. I'm obsessed." So that's great. So again, this is like on a Monday, and we had our classwork, we had editing, we had, writing class, whatever. And so I do want to say a big important part of this story for me at least is I do not drive. I'm not a driver, nor do I claim to really want to drive. I have my license. I have, when I was living in LA, I had a car. I very rarely tried to not drive. If I couldn't be dropped off, I really tried to like maneuver my way around things. I didn't really want to drive that much. But the way the schedules kind of fell into place, that Saturday I was going to have to drive myself, which is fine. I've done it before. I would do it again. But I was like, okay, I was going to have to drive. So that's fine. LA, it's very much driving. If you've been to LA, you understand you have to drive a lot of the times. You can't just walk there. So anyway, I was like, okay, cool, Saturday, I can drive, whatever. So I was talking to some of the other girls, and they were like, oh, okay, cool. Well, you live pretty far away. I live probably about 45 minutes away. I'm like, yeah, don't worry. I'll get up early. I'll be there on time. I'm not missing my chance to shoot here. I will not miss it. And they're like, Jay, you know what Saturday is though, right? And I was like, no, not really. And they're like, it's Carmageddon. And then it hit me. Saturday, the day I was looking forward to most, where I got to film on my set that I wanted to more than anything, was Carmageddon. And if you weren't in LA in 2012, you might not know what Carmageddon was. I actually learned about Carmageddon through some news sources back before I even moved to LA. It was a big bad day that was coming up where they were going to have to shut down the 101, which is a very, very prominent freeway in LA. And all the traffic was going to be rerouted to the 5, which is the route that I took to school. And so that might not sound like a big deal. All of the traffic in LA in theory was going to be on one road on that Saturday. The Saturday I was driving alone. The Saturday that the stakes couldn't be higher. I was going to miss my opportunity to film my best film ever on my favorite set in the world because of Carmageddon. But you know what? I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. The show that I'm talking about taught me to put on a brave face and never give up. I don't think that was the moral of it, nor do I think that was an actual message, but I gleaned that message. So you know what? I had to be there at 9. I left the house at 7:30. I gave myself an hour and a half to drive there. I wasn't going to be late. I had my little lunch, my little bag lunch, a little turkey roll-up, a little vitamin in there because I was taking vitamins a lot back then. Yeah, I was going. So I'm driving my convertible and I'm ready to fight somebody in traffic. I'll survive the road rage if I must. I'm going to get there. But that day, something happened that was unprecedented. Everyone in LA took the warning of Carmageddon. The roads were empty. There was no one there. I felt like I was in The Walking Dead Season 1, driving down that road, empty. It was just me and my dream, and it was the smoothest ride I've ever had in my life. I survived Carmageddon. All so I could be rewarded with the best set experience I ever wanted. Blessings came my way. I got there at 8. It took me half an hour to get there. That was never happened for me. It always took like 45 minutes. I got there so on time. I parked. Everything was perfect. It was great. Sometimes the universe looks down on you and says, you deserve something nice, and we're going to give it to you. Iconic. So, I'm there. I'm waiting. I see Cece. She's down there smoking her cigarette, doing her thing. That's like her ritual. She's chilling. She got there early because she got on the bus early, whatever. And so we're sitting there talking. We're discussing what we're going to be filming. And so some of the teachers show up, and they're like, are you ready? And honestly, I'm like, yeah. I'm like losing my mind. Everybody else is thinking of this as a class. I'm thinking of this as a transcendent experience for myself. This is the time where I am going to be a star, and I'm going to make movies on a real backlot, on a real set that I really love. So, we're told that we're going to be set up with a couple actors. These actors need to build up their resume and their reels, so we're going to be making a short film for them. And it's going to be great. 2 of us are going to be filming that day from each crew, and then we're going to get 2 actors from the acting program, and we're going to shoot the thing. So, I have from like 9 to 12, and then I think July had from 12 to 3 or something like that, and then the day was over. It was an easy day. It wasn't anything too crazy. So we get there. We're getting on the bus. We're going for it. I can't even pay attention to the annoying bus driver who thought I hit on him anymore. I don't care. I'm going through the looking glass. I'm on the other side of Oz right now. I'm in the Emerald City. We're going in. And I see it. It's beautiful. It looks exactly like what I want it to. This is the set where my favorite show was shot. And later I found out one of my other favorite sitcoms from like the 60s had a cameo in this. Like, they used one of the sets here. This was a beautiful set for me. This was perfect. Okay? So, we were told there were some rules. Okay? You cannot go on the second floor. It is not for you. Don't go on the second floor. It's not safe. Okay? I'm not ruining this for myself. I'm not going to ruin this for myself. They also said that your favorite character in the whole world who you base your whole personality on, her house is not real. It is the bathroom. Her house set is a different set altogether. So you can go in the exterior. It's a bathroom, though. That's where Crafty will be. That's where craft services is going to be tonight. That's where you're going to have lunch break. Okay, that's fine. So they pretty much told us everybody has to go grab one of the sets and film there. Doesn't matter which one it is. Just take one. It's just here for a project. Doesn't matter. I said, ha ha ha, Terry, it does matter. Terry matters a lot to me. Because you know what? I relate to a lot of these characters, and each one means a different thing to me. So my favorite character, her house is the bathroom. That's fine. I can go to the bathroom there. I can take pictures in there. That's fine. The house across the street, though, from her is my second favorite character. I'm getting that one. I do not give the rest of the Razor Blades a choice on the house we're taking. I said we're going to this one because it's the best one. Interior, exteriors, it's mine now. It's mine. And nobody wanted to mess with me that day. I was insane. I was too far gone, and I was so overjoyed. The smile was so big. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. And so they all said, that's fine. We got our two little actors. They were nice enough. I don't know what happened to them. I lost touch with them. I'm not even really quite sure how they got the footage. I hope they got it. I hope they liked it. I have a clip from I have a literal 30-second clip, which I do have the rights to, so I can show you. But at the end of the story, I will show this clip. So we're doing a little scene here. Okay, great. It's perfect. I have two actors who want to act. I have my favorite set on my favorite location, and I'm ready. I hate film, the medium itself. I love making movies, but film itself is very temperamental. So, we had a very easy 30-second scene I was going to shoot. And this film was being provided to us by the school for once. I was not paying for it out of my own budget, so I could use 2 canisters if I wanted to. I didn't have to conserve. Okay, so my scene was going to be this guy was going to walk up to the lady who was sitting on the porch, chilling, and he was going to give her a note, and it was a threatening blackmail note. Yes, it was an homage to my favorite TV show. Did I care? No. How often do you get to reshoot your favorite scene from your favorite show on the real sets? Very rarely, unless you're me. So, he was going to walk up, give her the note, and she was going to go, oh no. It was camp. It was iconic. I'm a drag queen. I like camp. Sue me. Literally. So, we're doing the scene, and July's in charge of the camera because he knows how to work it. Red is helping with scripty. Cece is blocking the actors, I think. We're all just doing our thing. And July pulls me aside and goes, there's a problem. I said, what's the problem? The camera's not working. I said, that's a problem. This is my movie. This is my film. And he's like, okay, well, we'll get it taken care of. So the camera's not working at all. And Terry's walking around. Terry wanted to put me in the hot seat this day. I know it. I put him in the hot seat. I said, Terry, what are you going to do about this? This isn't working, this equipment. And he goes, oh, well, you know what happens sometimes. You got to learn to roll with the punches. I said, no, we're on my set of my location. And you're telling me that I have to just roll the punches because the equipment that I'm paying a lot of money to go to school and use is not going to work? Fix it. So he's like, we'll get Darian over here. He'll look at it. And Darian's like, hey, it's fine. It's okay. It's just a school project. I said, no, this is my favorite place in the world. I don't want to leave. You're going to have to pull me out of here kicking and screaming. We're going to get this film done. So they are borrowing cameras from other people. They're moving around. People are losing their mind because I'm screaming at them at this point. Actually, I wasn't really screaming that. I wasn't that dramatic. But I was wanting to get this film done. The actors are sweet. They were nice enough. They got what we were doing. They enjoyed the vibe. They were having fun. It was fine. So we're getting to the point where we're not getting anything. We're filming something, but it's not catching. The light's not working. The sensor's off, and it's all blurry. That's not good enough for me. No, sir, it's not. So we're about to get it. We finally get a new camera in there. We get the film in there. July is taking care of it for me. Whatever happened between us in the future or the past, this moment he saved my life, and I loved him for it. He saved the day. So we're about to start going. Terry comes over and goes, that's lunch. That's lunch? It took us 3 hours to get this camera working, and I didn't get anything actually filmed. And I'm supposed to look. I have to let go of this after this for July. I don't think so. So I'm like, guys, we didn't get anything filmed. The camera did not work at all. And July's like, it's fine. Mine's gonna take like a second. We can shoot yours right when we come back from lunch, and we'll knock it out real quick. No worries. We'll take care of it. And I was like, thank you so much. You are keeping my heart from bursting. I really appreciate it. We're going to lunch. I am so excited and stressed out at the same time that I cannot eat. I can't do it. They brought in food trucks for us. I brought a bag to lunch. I I decided to wander around aimlessly during the whole 30-minute lunch break. I was not going to miss my opportunity to take photos and get as much time with the set as possible. So, you know what? I ran around. I didn't eat and I had a great time. I took photos everywhere. I don't know if I was supposed to or allowed to, but I did. Again, that's why I'm not saying where this place was, because also I don't know if I was allowed to go where I went, but I went where I needed to go. And I had fun. And I deserve that sometimes. Sometimes you have to have fun. But I do not at all say you should do that. Follow the rules always. Even if it's your favorite set in the world. It's always good to follow the rules. So, we're told not to go upstairs. And we have the one set that I want. And so July was looking around the inside to see if he wanted to film his stuff inside. That's cool. And so we're looking around, we're doing that, whatever. And he's like, dude, you gotta go upstairs. And I'm like, I can't go upstairs. It's against the rules and I don't want to get kicked out. He's like, Jay, this is the one and only time you will be in your favorite character set and you're not gonna go upstairs and see what everything looks like. Okay, so I run upstairs. It's just a set. There's nothing upstairs. It's exactly what they show on the show. Okay. Again, I do not condone this. Do not break the rules. Follow the rules. But I got to see it upstairs. So, yay. So anyway, so I did run into Kitty. Like I say, I always run into Kitty when I'm stressed. I feel like Kitty's like my little guardian angel, and she could tell that I was a little bit stressed out because I hadn't finished my film yet or got it out there. And she's like, dude, don't stress out. It's fine. We're having a great time here. We'll probably come back even more. So, like, don't worry. If you don't get it done today, you'll get it done sooner or later. Don't worry about it. We're getting ready to go back to shooting. So we get everything set up. And the actors are ready to go. And we're like, we have to knock mine out really quick. We have literally 30 seconds, probably before Terry notices that we're not filming July's. So we're rushing. We are getting the shots in. That's honestly where I think I learned how to make films quickly. Because I have always been on a bit of a time crunch. So we're shooting it real quick. We have the guy walking up. We have everything. We just have to do the over the shoulder to show the note. Terry comes over. You're still working on Jay's? You're taking other people's times now. You know how selfish you are? And Terry, this is my moment in the sun. And I understand. It is not right that I'm taking up a few seconds of someone else's time. I would never do that. But you know what? This equipment didn't work. And again, he wanted to put me in the hot seat. This is the day he was going to put me in the hot seat. But no, not me. Not today. And so July's like, no, this is for mine. He covered for me. We finished my shots. No one was any wiser. Because Terry was like, you're not going to finish your film. You don't get to. You don't deserve to. You don't get to have a final product. And I was like, I think not. We got it. We got the shots. And it was great. Roll the clip. That's all that's remaining. My hard drive. I had a hard drive for my school projects. And somehow or another it got magnetized and it's all gone. That is the only clip I have left of this project. My favorite day in the sun. My moment that I fought for was that shot. I have something to show for it at least. But that was the moment that I got to film. I'm still proud of it, even though it's less than 2 seconds long. I shot my little reaction scene. I loved it. So we finished my little film. We then shoot July's. He had a really cute one about like a soldier coming home and the wife being all excited. It was real sweet, really good. Very talented filmmaker. Always came up with something cool and had a cool concept. So we shot that. It was great. I want to say I got to do cinematography for him on that one. He like put me in charge of cinematography. I think honestly on some level he knew I wasn't comfortable, so he always put me in charge of it. So that's nice, I guess. So we did that, and then we got done. We all get done early, and we had to wait until about 4 for the buses to pick us up. It was like I want to say we got done at like 3:30, and we didn't get picked up till 4, so we had time to run around. So we were all running around taking photos. Cece was taking photos for me because I was like, I need to reminisce all of this, not just in a selfie. So she was taking photos for me. So we then head home. We're back on the bus. We're going back. I'm exhausted. Um, Honestly, a little bit worried because I drive home during Carmageddon. But again, the universe knew I'd already been through enough that day. So there was no cars on the road. It was very smooth sailing. Got home in 30 minutes. Went home, passed out. Passed out. Sleepy. Tired. Snoresville for me. So then I think we had the rest of the weekend off or something like that. We had like Sunday off or something. So we go back on Monday, pick up our footage. They had developed it all. I had to sift through the first whole reel of just blurry footage that you couldn't make out any of it because the camera didn't work. Okay. I then have to go up there and be like, where's the other one? And they're like, there was another one. They lost the footage. Okay. Where is it? I'm supposed to be in editing class editing this. It seems that the universe is going to really make me fight to have this finished film. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I can fight for this. Finally, my teacher rolls up. Darian rolls up. Oh, I have it for you. They put it under mine because it was a second canister. Okay, so I get a little footage from him. Meanwhile, one of my other classmates, he's like, I don't have a hard drive. And I was like, that's not good. He's like, can I use yours? And I'm like, sure. So before my hard drive crashed, I did have his footage on my hard drive to the day it crashed. I mean, he got it off there. We transferred to a computer for him so he could just edit it and call it a day. But yeah, so I had his footage for a while too. So anyway, we got our little footage. We're editing it together. Compared to our mise en scène, this one at least has a little bit of continuity we have to keep up with. We have to cut things together so it makes sense. So it's like over the shoulder, wide, medium, insert, all those things, which we had all of. I was very proud of this. This was a very well written scene for me, I thought. I had like the guy walking up in a wide, I had the medium of her sitting there, I had the over the shoulder of him looking at her and then her looking at him, and the insert of the note. It had everything we needed. And it was proper for the actual set we were on. So cool. So I finish my project, I save it properly, I get it back to the teachers, and I'm like, here you go, girl, watch it. And they're like, we'll watch it in class, don't you worry about it. I'm like, oh, fair. So I just wait a couple days, and then we go to class, and we're sitting there watching it together. We always do these little like theater moments. And in the first couple months, they were like less than 30-second films. So it was probably like 10 minutes of watching these movies, and then we would talk about them and criticize them and go forward. Later on, it would be like full days classes. We'd have up to 30 minutes per project. We'd have a lot longer times to watch all of them together. So it'd be like a whole class. So we were doing that, and we're watching everybody's films, and they're okay, they're great, they're whatever, but we're gonna get to mine. And I'm stoked. It's well written, well filmed, well edited, on a beautiful set. And they all go, that wasn't very good. I'm like, it was great. And they're like, no, it was too campy. The actors were too much. They were too this, they were too that. I'm sorry, but we're criticizing my directing, not their acting. And I was like, but I got the shots I needed, I got this, I got that, and I wanted it to be a level of camp. And they're like, you shouldn't want camp. You shouldn't want drama. Well, spoiler alert to them, I didn't take that note. Everything I do is a little bit camp. It becomes part of my brand. So honestly, the moral of this lesson is do what works for you personally and do not worry what people have to say about it. Because people are going to just say what they want. And you sometimes have to trust your gut. If you want to be camp, be camp. I mean, it's good to take notes. Take notes and listen. But it's also okay sometimes for you to say, no, this is what I wanted. I wanted a campy little moment. So we watched the rest of the films, real cute, real good, and we had a lot of fun doing the projects. And honestly, it was probably one of the best experiences of my life, but there was a lot of stress there. I think honestly, we have a lot of moments we build up in our life, especially when it comes to like the movie industry, when it comes to celebrity, when it comes to any of those kind of things. We all build a certain idea up in our mind of what it's going to be like. And I was so scared the car thing was going to be a problem. No, Carmageddon didn't affect me at all. The cameras affected me. And they would continue to affect me until we switch over to digital. It happens. It happens sometimes. Sometimes things just do not look good in the camera. It is what it is. What are you going to do? So that was my experience on the first time going on the backlot. And I absolutely loved it. It was one of the best things I've ever got to do. And honestly, it changed my life for the better. I had so much fun working with everybody on those projects. We did go back to that backlot again, but it's not really notable. That was the one time that really mattered because it was like a real project. We did later on down the year, we had a random out of nowhere a production workshop. It was hey, we're not doing class today, we're going to the backlots. And it's like nobody wrote anything, nobody had plans, and they're just like, figure it out. That one was actually, I'm not going to make a whole episode about this. I'm not going to make a whole diary entry about this because honestly, it's not really relevant. So I'll just include it here. So they had one project where all of us as a class had to do a film together because it wasn't even in the schedule. Again, it was just like a last minute of, we don't have a class for you today, so we'll just throw you in the back class and let you film something. And so we got to go to the same set that I really loved. We used a different house though, which I didn't get to film in the first time. So I was excited to be in that house. It was beautiful, really cool to see it all. But nobody came up with a script idea. Nobody had a concept. And so what we ended up doing was we kind of threw some stuff together. We all threw something at the wall. Omar suggested we do a mockumentary about making a film because we didn't have any ideas for film, so why don't we make a film about making a film? Which is so fun. I want to say he was playing the director of the mockumentary, like behind the camera, and they needed a director to be the in-movie director who was going to be dramatic and over the top. And they were like, Jay, you want to play that? And I was like, who? Little old me? I'm never dramatic. I'm always very monotone. So I took the part. And you know what? I slayed that role. I was outrageous. I was crazy. I was demanding more shots saying, get out of my light. We're filming now. Shoot the film. We made Cece, I think, play one of the actresses. We made Red, the sound person who couldn't hold on to the boom. We did the whole thing. It was hilarious and it was great from what I remembered. Sadly, the film was not actually part of the curriculum. It got lost. To this day, I don't know what it looked like. I know we had some funny moments, though. We brought it from performance-wise, and they had some cool shots in there. Never saw it, though. Nobody edited it. Nobody even, I don't know if anyone ever claimed the footage. I've checked with people, and they all said, oh, I didn't pick that up. I don't know. Omar's like, oh, I didn't get that. I think July might have edited it. And July's like, I don't think I picked it up. To this day, I don't know what happened with it. But it was really fun. So it's a fun memory. Some memories are not photos or Instagram posts or tweets. Some of the memories are up here in our mind. We have to just look back and go, nice. So that was my other experience on that set. It was one of the things I would never return it. I would never get back. That was one of the best moments of my life, and I really enjoyed myself there. I had a lot of fun, and I was very blessed to be a part of that. I was very blessed to be able to have the opportunity to go onto my favorite set and film something, not just visit. Because I've done tours where I can go back and see it whenever I want. Buy a ticket. But no, I wasn't in a buggy. I was in a cart. I was on the ground filming it. A lot of times people say, do you regret going to film school? No, because I got this experience. This was the experience I needed. This was what I thought Hollywood was like. And it was probably one of the few experiences where it was like what I dreamed it would be. Do I wish I had more footage to show you? Of course. But I have 2 seconds of this lady reacting to a note, which will go with me forever. And now you guys can see it. I do feel like this was a fun experience. This was not something that, again, it wasn't the biggest film. I don't think they even counted it towards our 6 films for the first semester. This is one of those things where it was, they're going to kind of just put it in there so we can learn. But for me, it was one of my favorite films, one of my favorite projects. And I had a good crew behind me who did sacrifice their time and did force me to go the extra mile and learn more and investigate things I wouldn't have normally checked out. So it was overall very much a fun experience that I very much enjoyed. So anyway, that was the entry from my film school diary about filming on my favorite set on the backlots. I'm glad I got to share that with you guys. I wish I had more actual footage and photos to show you. For some reason, I thought I was somebody who took a lot of photos back then. I didn't. I did not take as many photos as I would have or could have or needed to. They were probably on some sort of old flip phone somewhere at the bottom of a dresser that I might not even have anymore. But either way, I can share it with you guys now. So make sure you follow, subscribe, and like for more content like this. I'm excited to keep sharing more of my film school diary with you guys. I have so many more fun stories to go. On the next one, we do an actual film for class that it requires us to sync up some scenes. So get excited to talk more about those projects. Will the camera ruin those for me too? Find out next time. Bye. I finally went to her house, the bathroom house, and like, beautiful house in the exterior. I went in. I was like, oh, I'm gonna sneak into the bathrooms. It was weird in there. They had like two indoor outhouses just sitting there. And the rest of it was like, I guess people were still filming in there and they're eating snacks. It was just so weird.